came out, the Times of India. Don't know how many of you were up this morning to read it, but as you know, there was some action at the river downtown. And as you see here, there's a picture here of suddenly all this flood tourism brought on by social media.
You'll make it tourism flood.
I'm sorry?
You'll make it tourism flood.
That's right. You know, the thing about this is, you can do so many things for your business if you learn about social media and how to use it. And you know, especially as young as you are, when you go out into the world, even though technology is growing so fast, you are going to have so many skills that the people that you work with don't have, because they have been concentrating on other things. And so when they look around the room for volunteers, they're going to be looking for people like you. Hotels today are starting to hire people who are social media experts because they recognize the power of social media. You know, there's so many uses, and I'm sure that those of you who have been on Facebook and on LinkedIn and on Twitter that we talked about before know about these. And I'm not sure of what the laws are in India, but I can tell you that in a number of countries around the world, employers, whether legally or not, are using employees' Facebook pages, LinkedIn pages, Twitter accounts to find out what has been going on in your lives. And I tell my stepsons this all the time. Guys, be careful what you put on your Facebook accounts, because they don't go away. You might think that they go away, but there are ways to find things out that are many, many years in the past. You know, if you're working for a company, the things that you want to encourage them are fan pages. You want to encourage your guests or your customers to get out there and share their experiences. As you may have remembered in that video that you just saw, people believe their friends way more than they believe advertising. Promotion. Promote your experience. You know, your resume, the fact that your company may be green or have a LEEDS certification, or that you are walking for health, or a number of other things that you might be, your companies might be involved in, charities, religious things, whatever the case may be that your customers are interested in. I mentioned social responsibility. Try to develop followers and tweeters. We're going to see some of that here in a couple minutes. Partner links. Let's say, for example, that you work for a bank and you have a really good partnership with someone who prints the bank's checks. Well, they have a bunch of people over here that need to do banking. The people that are doing banking need to buy paper supplies. So you put those two together, marry them, and then you suddenly double the people that know about your businesses for free. Get feedback from the under 30 crowd. Once you get older, you know, yet, like I said earlier when I was talking, I know nothing about the under 30 crowd. I know very little about the under 40 crowd and a little bit more about the under 50 crowd. Now, under 60, now that I know about. As I said earlier, if you don't have a LinkedIn account, get one today. And don't try to sell. People don't want to be sold to. They want to know about you. They want to establish a relationship with you. They don't want to be sold to you. If I need to buy a product for my personal use or for my business, who do I go to first? My social network. I call my friends, I call my colleagues, and I say, hey, what do you know about this? And, you know, that is all about the networking. Now, JHM Hotels, as of all of you know, they have some nice things, and I'm going to talk about those nice things throughout the rest of the session. I want to show you this here, if this works. This is, oops, here we go. We're going to the Facebook page. Oh. Okay, here it comes. Now, this is JHM Hotels' Facebook page. For those of you who aren't familiar with there's two kinds of Facebook pages. There's your personal page, and then there are company pages. So this particular one has a nice logo, has beautiful pictures here, has the address, whatnot. 35 people have logged in, I guess, today and said that they liked it. All of this was zero cost, somewhere other than time. Somewhere at JHM, I suspect maybe Sanjay, Rama, but I'm not sure who developed it. But they developed a nice page, free. I mean, you don't even have to pay a subscription fee, and people get on there, and they make comments, and later I have some comments that were actually made by JHM. Now, about JHM, which, by the way, are exceptional. Okay, so if somebody can go out and talk about their experiences, that means that they can also harm your brand. Sometimes it may be true. Sometimes it may be your competitor down the street who is not ethical. So what you have to do when you get into the social media world is you have to protect that brand, and you have to listen to what's being said about it. Marriott Greenville is the BMW hotel in the United States. It is one of JHM's wonderful properties. I just hosted a meeting there of our officers with Mr. Rama a few weeks ago. Fantastic hotel. Lots of technology. It's beautiful. They have all these brand new BMWs sitting out front, because if you buy a BMW in the United States, BMW sends their customers to Greenville, South Carolina to pick it up, and guess where they put them up at their expense to stay? At JHM Hotels Marriott Greenville. So I went on TripAdvisor, because TripAdvisor is another social network, and I wanted to see what people were saying about the Marriott Greenville, because I knew, I'd been there, and I knew what it was like. So sure enough, I wasn't surprised. Very nice hotel, 4 stars. And then, there's some comments. The pool, the staff, excellent. If you don't know the Ramas, one of the things about the Ramas in the U.S., and I'm sure it's here too, I just got in late last night, but in the U.S., there's kind of different kinds of way that people treat their staff. There are those who treat them as servants. There are those who treat them as friends. But the Ramas treat their staff as family. And the thing about that is they have a huge number of employees who stay with them forever. Now, I can say as an employer myself, that is extremely unusual in America. People get a job, especially in hospitality. If you look at hospitality, hospitality has quite a large turnover rate, but not at JHM Hotels. And as you can see right here, this is a very nice place. The staff were excellent, because they treat those hotels like their home. And that starts at the very top. So when the day that you come and you're the CEO of your company, or you own your business, keep that in mind, because the very person that may make your company or break your company may be that same person that you hired when they needed a job, and if you treat them well, they will treat you well. Just a couple more here. They were pleasantly surprised by the resort feel of the pool. Again, very, very, very nice. Good food. What a nice surprise. This is interesting. Now here I've had some really good food in hotels. In the U.S., for example, hotel restaurants aren't that, they're okay. But again, very nice. And the people on Facebook, on TripAdvisor, are saying these things. Now, without going into a lot of the details, and I had this long video that I was going to play, but in the interest of time, I'm not going to play it. You have to be careful again, though, because even though you have all these great posts about what a great deal you are, there are people who make a living practically going out and they check into a nice suite, they run up a big bill, then they come downstairs and they say, "Oh, this was horrible. I found bed bugs. I did this." And the next thing you know, those people are basically blackmailing you to give them free stuff, or they're going to go out and post bad things about your hotels or your business, no matter what it is. So at some point, you have to be careful about those people. You really, really have to be careful. And that's why, again, going back to my point, you have to pay attention, if you're in business, what is said about your brand. I'm going to, by the way, I will be happy to provide all of you with this PowerPoint presentation if you'd like it, because we are, I could talk about social media all day long. Here, there's some other ways you can do. When you get negative posts, you can ignore them. Some people do. You can delete them. Some people do. You can let your fans handle them. I see this all the time. People come out and say something bad, and it goes back to that respect and that feeling of family, or that feeling of part of a business. If you're doing business with somebody, you want your friends to do business with somebody, and you want to be able to tell them that. So that helps. And then sometimes you just have to respond. Now, one of the bad things about the internet, as I said earlier, social media posts never go away. Well, in a lot of cases, hotel websites never go away. So let's say, for example, today you were working at a JHM hotel, and for whatever reason, they sold it, and it became another brand. Well, somewhere out there in the big internet land, there still is a place called, and you might want to write this down, www.wayback.org. That's called the Wayback Machine. You can go out there and see any company's website that ever was on the web. You can go back, and HFTP, who was one of the early adapters of internet, we, I believe, started our website my first year. I believe it was 1994. We used to be called the International Association of Hospitality Accountants. You can go back there and see our website. Some of the links really work still today. So, like I said, some things just never